Hello and welcome to Atlanta for the first of two races here this year. This starting order on your left, and this is based off of performance metrics qualifying. So the starting order, points, and the fastest lap from the previous race determines the starting order. So Denny Hamlin, who won last week and had the fastest lap, will be on the pole for this race, and this will be used in all events without qualifying from now on. Thanks to Ethan for the idea. Stages here, 32 laps, 31, and then a 36 lap run to the finish. Pit stop will be needed, and we'll see if Kevin Harvick can repeat here at Atlanta. Denny Hamlin bringing them down to the green. Martin Truex Jr. on his outside. Hamlin was very strong last week, so he obviously has the momentum. It'll be interesting to see if he can continue that. Elliott also good last week, but never could get the track position. Struggled with that racing with Kevin Harvick at Phoenix. Elliott gonna go and look for the lead early here on Denny Hamlin. Trying to make something happen, but the high side is going to have the momentum, and that's going to be the story for the rest of the day. It's just, at these mile-and-a-half tracks, you want to be able to keep the car wound up, especially with lower horsepower. And Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, especially as pushing partners down the straightaway, get to the corner on the high side, it's going to be hard to get around that. Riding along with Joey Logano here, pushing Chase Elliott through the corner. He's actually going to give Elliott enough of a run to get nearly clear down the straightaway. Logano decides he's going to the inside as well. Going to make it 3 wide down into turn 3. Joey Logano looking for the lead here. An aggressive move early, but the 22 has the speed to get it done. Joey Logano goes to the lead. Hamlin would fall back to third. It would then be Elliott and Logano racing amongst themselves for the lead. Logano working that high side. Elliott on the bottom. Can't really get the job done. And now Harvick and Hamlin will try and freight train the 9. Harvick would be the next to make a big move, sticks it in the middle 3 wide. Doesn't really work. You see that car start wobbling around, and he cannot get that car to stick. Now Elliott will be able to slide up in second, and that's the goal. You want to be able to slide up and get in the preferred groove. Looking back at the hornet's nest here from Logano, Matt DiBenedetto makes an aggressive move. He's going to try the bottom, and he's going to get it to work. Martin Truex Jr. got a little bit sideways in the center of the corner. Benedetto gets the throttle down well, and he's going to gain a couple spots out of that move. Now single filing out lap 10, and the top 6 is single file, not really racing that hard. So this could be where tire wear begins to come into the race. That would be why they would single file out. Just dealing with tire wear, it's hard to be side by side when the cars don't drive as well and you're having to lift through the corners. Kevin Harvick there making a move on Chase Elliott. Harvick trying to work the bottom. Elliott, be interesting to see if he can hang on the outside. Matt DiBenedetto is helping Kevin Harvick. Found a Ford to push. Harvick gets around Elliott. Now going to look to try and take it to the lead. The 4 car always so good at Atlanta. Usually very good on the bottom in these races. And Harvick looking for the lead on Joey Logano right here. He's lost his drafting help, but Logano doesn't have that much either. And Harvick's going to clear himself off of turn 4. New leader, Kevin Harvick. Watching Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott here. Truex, with pressure from Elliott, just slides up the track. Perhaps that could be Elliott putting air on the spoiler or just too aggressive on old tires, but that's going to give Elliott the chance to go through. Elliott, same move on Logano here, follows him right into the corner, and Logano can't stay down and slides up the racetrack, has to lift, and Elliott gets a big run. This one wouldn't work out though, because his drafting help chooses not to go with him, chooses to help his Penske teammate instead, and Elliott is stuck on the bottom. We'll have to find a way to get back up. I think Kurt Busch will be his shot to get back up in line. Kevin Harvick here continuing to lead. Now Matt DiBenedetto looking for the lead on the bottom. Elliott gonna go with him. Drafting help usually not a big deal at Atlanta, but with this package it's just part of it. DiBenedetto did not have what he needed there though. Logano will be the next to try it. Kevin Harvick. This car is very fast. It's even more difficult to pass someone who's good on the high side as well, but he did not get through 3 and 4 well, and that'll give Logano and Elliott the chance to go by. Harvick going to try to rebound on the high side, and Elliott wastes no time with a run on Logano, Chase Elliott trying to go to the lead, not able to get it done. Will he be able to slide up in front of Harvick before that run on the high side carries him through? He's clear, he's going to try it, he gets up there and blocks, and this will be a caution. That is Cody Ware, who has had a problem and has come to a stop on the backstretch. That will bring us to our first pit stops of the day. Tires will be what everyone wants here, 4 tires. You do need a little bit of fuel to get to the end of this, but that's not the concern. There's your race off pit road. I believe it was Kevin Harvick taking that race off pit road. A couple of lap cars to deal with, but they shouldn't be too big of a problem. Harvick will bring us down to the restart. This 2-lap shootout for stage 1. Harvick gets a good jump, and really, as good as that car is on the short run, I would not be shocked if Harvick has no trouble winning this stage, especially on new tires. But look at this mess. Yeah, that's 4 wide. You saw it right. Denny Hamlin coming up through the middle. Everyone racing to be that 9th and 10th car in stage points. That's what this battle is. Alex Bowman, Martin Truex Jr. have that. And Kevin Harvick, as suspected, no challenge. He takes stage 1 easily. And they managed to get through that 4 wide hornet's nest without causing another caution, which is impressive. No pit stops there because they already had pit stops 2 laps ago. Everyone stayed out. Kevin Harvick brings us down to the green. Once again, Matt DiBenedetto, Kyle Busch, that's your 2nd and 3rd place drivers. A little calmer this time. They know they got a long run ahead of them. We're not seeing them flare out 3 wide immediately. So that's a little more organized and single filed out a little bit quicker this time. See the top 3, 4 single file until Eric Almirola gets aggressive. He's going to try this move on the bottom here. Blaney was going to make it 3 wide, decided better of it. Follows Logano into the corner, and that's probably the right move. And then 4 wide racing for 5th. Alex Bowman through the dogleg, gets very low, almost in the grass, trying to get under these 3 cars and his teammate Chase Elliott. Those 2 Hendrick cars are going to get through, and these cars are bad fast. Bowman has the fastest lap right now. Elliott also very quick, so they just need to get through traffic. These 2 cars could be a threat to win the race, but they are stuck in traffic. Denny Hamlin, kind of forgot about him. He did lead the opening laps, but he has fallen all the way to 19th, barely hanging on to the lead group. Hamlin will need to make some adjustments if he's going to get himself in this race by the end. Up front, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney racing for the lead. Blaney on the bottom, not really going to be able to get it done this time, but he made a move and just got hung out. His teammate not really helping him, not trying to let him back into line. He would wait a little bit and regroup, try it again. This time, able to hang off the corner. He has help from Alex Bowman on the bottom, and Harvick does not have anyone to push him either. Really, they're more by themselves, about a car length to anyone back there. And it would be Blaney hunting the bottom and trying to get through, eventually getting the job done after about another lap. Ryan Blaney gets it through. Gonna clear himself here into one, I would imagine, just drop to the bottom and dive into the corner. And there it is. Now Alex Bowman looking for second on Harvick. How about Bowman and Blaney? We saw them battle a lot in 2020. Could we see the same thing today? Bowman has a fast car, Blaney in the lead. Be interesting to watch that battle develop if it does. And speaking of Alex Bowman, he was on the bottom there, could never get a hole, eventually falls in line in 4th. Now Blaney and Harvick racing here. Harvick going to turn down to the bottom. That's a really the power move to turn down on the exit of the corner and still carry more speed. And Harvick working the bottom will try and get through here. Harvick's always been very good on the bottom, so it's hard to doubt that he does have something he can maybe work with. But not able to get it done. We'll see what he has on the straightaway. Blaney should have the run, and Harvick will probably just try and fall in front of his teammate. And that's exactly what it looks like. Harvick settles in. Now Blaney working lap traffic here, and the caution is out. They'll race back to the caution, and Blaney will get it just barely over Logano, but I have no clue what the caution is. I checked. It was just a mystery caution. I can't really explain. There was no incident on track, and it wasn't a manually thrown caution, so I have no clue where it came from, but that would bring about pit stops and another 2-lap shootout. Logano gaining that spot on pit road over Ryan Blaney. But anyway, that brings us to another 2-lap shootout. And Joey Logano will have the lead thanks to his pit crew. Green flag is out, and we'll get this stage 2 settled with 2 Penske cars on the front row. Kyle Busch to the bottom, 3 wide already. It's never a shocker when Kyle Busch is aggressive on a restart, but Kevin Harvick would be the first to scale out of the 3 at the front. Harvick started 4th on this restart. He's up to 2nd, drives it to the bottom under Ryan Blaney. This car is really good for the first few laps. Harvick now to the inside of Joey Logano, but will he be able to hang in turns 3 and 4 with next to no help? You know Blaney's going to stay in line with Logano, and that's going to be the issue for Harvick. Just no run off the corner. Blaney's going to push Logano to a stage 2 victory. Logano hasn't won yet this year, but he's shown speed. So maybe this could be the race he gets it done. He's certainly up front. Be interesting to watch. No pit stops again, as they have just pitted 2 laps ago. And Joey Logano will lead us down to the start of stage 3. Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick make up your top 3. Blaney likely to help his teammate here on the restart. Not going to try and get too racy right away. So it'll be interesting to see Logano and Blaney race as this run develops. And 4 wide again, working through lap traffic, being very aggressive. That's Kyle Larson on the bottom. Ross Chastain, Martin Truex Jr. Larson and Truex are going forward very quickly. Blaney would fall out of 2nd, slip back to 4th actually, racing for that spot, and Harvick would have the run on Logano here. Still to the inside of Logano, but doesn't have the momentum. He'll have to make something big happen in 1 and 2. And Logano not quite to the throttle that well. Harvick's going to hang in there. And now with a little bit of help, Harvick can maybe get clear here. Looking for the spot. Kevin Harvick should be almost clear off the corner, but not quite able to come up yet. Logano coming with a run off the top side. We'll go another lap, and they'll continue to race, but this time Harvick able to slide up. You can see the 22 back there. Did not get the run off the high side this time. New leader, Kevin Harvick. 4-car has absolutely dominated this race so far. There's Matt Benedetto and Eric Almirola racing for 4th, I believe. Ryan Blaney going to try and make an aggressive move, and Kyle Larson working the high side. Matt Benedetto having a good run. That car has been up front all day. Doesn't really have winning speed, but top 5s are a good shout. Something you definitely want to have. You know, you got to be up there to have a chance. Larson also having a good day. Fell to the back early, kind of struggled with speed early in the race, but has found himself up at the front at the end, and that's when it matters anyway for the trophy. Kevin Harvick would continue to lead and sort of string this pack out. We're on lap 80, we got about 18 to go, and Harvick is just building not necessarily a big lead, but a comfortable margin. A few car lengths and stringing those guys out behind them. But Logano would eventually close. About 15 to go, he's thinking about making a move, but Harvick just so much better on the throttle, exit of the corner. He can make moves that Logano just cannot compete with. And eventually Harvick's going to get way away here as they're racing 3 wide for 2nd. That slows them down a ton. Harvick can able to just sort of drive away here. You know, no competition. Whenever they're side by side, it slows them down so much. How about Chase Briscoe? Making something happen here on the high side. Former dirt guy, no shock that he's good on the top, similar to Kyle Larson. But he's been working that high side for a few laps. He's driven himself from outside the top 10 to passing for 4th here. Trying to get the job done on Martin Truex Jr. He's got that nice push down the straightaway from his teammate. And he'll be clear, working the high side. Briscoe gets the job done. He'll look for Ryan Blaney next. Briscoe on the high side of Blaney. Blaney worked the bottom there and just did not get the run off the straightaway, and Briscoe clears himself immediately. 14 car is showing up really strong late, about 10 to go, and he's in 3rd. He's faster than Logano, maybe could get the job done there. And how about Chase Briscoe? So far, not the rookie season he wants. His first top 10 of the season came last week at Phoenix, and Daytona was hard on Briscoe. He crashed in the 500, crashed hard at the road course. So 2 DNFs to start off his Cup career. and hasn't really recovered out of that points hole, but still a good run going today. So Briscoe maybe starting to figure this Cup stuff out. Dealing with Logano here, following him. He's going to look to the bottom. Briscoe going for second. He doesn't really have Eric Almirola anymore to help him. He's on his own. Doesn't have someone to push confidently behind him, because Denny Hamlin will do exactly that. When Almirola is pushing you, you don't have to worry about him flaring out, but when someone who's not your teammate is pushing you, they can flare out and make it 3 wide whenever they want. And anyway, where did Denny Hamlin come from? We were talking about him being 19th, barely in the lead draft not that long ago, and here he is racing for second with 5 to go. Denny Hamlin gets to the front when it matters most. Hamlin looking for third on Elliott, trying to set up Joey Logano in the process. Hamlin going to get clear of Elliott, and now he's going to look to the bottom. We've got 3 laps to go in this race, and Denny Hamlin, with help from Truex Jr., looking on Joey Logano. Doesn't have the run off the corner, that'll be Logano's, but he's going to be close enough to settle in and try and go around him as we come to 2 to go. Denny Hamlin racing with Joey Logano here. Logano does not get the run off the corner again. Hamlin actually manages to get the run on the bottom. That's really difficult to do, but he's got it done, and he's going to get there. White flag in the air. Denny Hamlin chasing down Kevin Harvick. You can see how much he's closing. He is significantly faster than Kevin Harvick, but can he get there with only a lap to go? Harvick has 2-3 car lengths. Denny Hamlin has to push down the backstretch. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Denny Hamlin 2-3 car lengths back. Kevin Harvick lost the speed late. Good on the short run, not good on the long run. But he was able to be far enough ahead when it mattered most, and Kevin Harvick will win at Atlanta. That makes 2 in a row for Kevin Harvick here at this racetrack. Track he has always been very good at. And it moves him to the top of the point standings. 4 top 5s is an impressive stat. Not the most on the schedule, but he might be the only driver that's finished in the top 5 in every race he hasn't crashed. Crashed at Homestead and the Daytona Road Course. So a very impressive season going so far for Kevin Harvick. And here's the point standings. Harvick moves to the top of the board, 12 playoff points, putting himself in position for a great playoff run. Logano, Elliott, Busch, and Almirola pad their already impressive points margins, and Larson and Kurt Busch having a good season as well. Down in the second table, Daniel Suarez has finally fallen out of the cut line. The 99 had a great start to the season, but hasn't shown the speed since. And now he falls out. A lot of guys racing for position there. And that will be it. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll take a look at Kevin Harvick burning it down in Atlanta. And I'll see you all next week.